I love New York City. You know, it's my home. The changes, you know, it's just a beautiful and inspirational place. You got people, everyday people just working, making a living. You got folks, you know, trying to make their dreams come true. I mean, I kind of fall somewhere in the middle. You know, when I was a kid, the first instrument I played was the trombone, and I played that for a couple years. And I had a teacher, and he was always yelling at me not to improvise, and it was very frustrating, and I quit, and I didn't play music for a long time. I didn't come back to music. I said I stopped playing trombone around 10 years old, and I didn't come back to music till about 18 or 19 when somebody gave me a guitar. When I came back to the guitar, I was playing for about 4 or 5 years, and I was playing in a group out on Long Island that was like a funk review. And we had a bass player quit, and boom, I wound up playing the bass for close to the next 10 years. Didn't touch a guitar. And again, I started thinking I needed to make money to have a career in music. I was doing okay, groups were traveling, I was getting work, but it didn't have real money. I thought I needed a lot of money to make good music. So I got involved in dealing drugs and stuff of that nature, and I got arrested. I caught a pretty serious case. That's when I was sitting there in the fucking holding cell and dudes are pissing on the floor and, you know, guys are in the felony tank, you know, fighting each other. I was like, man, I just said to myself, I was like, dude, man, you used to be able to play the guitar well and make a living, so you should start doing that again and forget about all this stupid shit. And the only thing I really knew is that I was going to start playing the guitar again. When I started playing on the street, I was ready to fall off the end of the world. And I realized that as I was doing that, I was getting this enrichment that I hadn't been getting by playing in clubs or playing in places where they're slinging alcohol, and the music can almost be secondary. They want to know you're putting bodies in the club, and that's it. They almost don't care about what you're doing. So for me, I didn't want to even try and chase that around. I just wanted to be able to get back and actually pick the guitar and connect with somebody who I didn't know from anywhere, who knew nothing about me. So part of it was almost like a medicated process to try and pull myself back together and get somewhat focused. I don't know if you've ever been personally in a spot in your life where you feel like you're about to fall off the edge. But that's where I was, and the subway brought me back. When I first started playing in the subway, another street performer hired me to play lead guitar for him. He was paying me $20 an hour. So here I am, totally broke, destitute, and homeless, and this dude named Ziggy hires me. You know, so what am I going to do? Tell him no? He's giving me cash, you know. So I start playing with him, and I see that people react in such a positive way. So we fast forward a little bit, you know, like any relationship. I love the dude and hate him. He fires me. So here I am all on my own, and I'm out there trying to play and make money. So here I am, first time in the subway solo, 2002. And I'm trying to play stuff that I think is impressive, or people are going to be impressed by it. And I'm not making any money. People are chasing me off the train, you know? So every now and then yelling, you suck, get out of here. You know, fucking Brooklyn can be a tough place if they ain't feeling you, you know? So I was sitting around one day on the train, and I was a little discouraged. I was like, damn, man, am I going to have to go back to Ziggy and beg for a job? And I was just kind of picking out a tune like I would late at night, you know, for my personal stuff, like putting myself to bed or something. It was just It was softer, it was a little more introspective, and people started coming over and giving me money. And that's when the proverbial light bulb went on. And I was like, whoa, people like this? Because I like this. This is the way I really like to play. You know, it's natural, it's free. I'm not even thinking about it. It's just flowing. And then that's when it really started, like, moving to another level to where I was connecting with people and starting to be able to make a living. I saw Metallica when they first came out on their first album, and I mean, that shit blew my fucking mind. I was just like, I can't even believe that there's anything out there like this. You know, and I loved Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, and I had I had the Pink Floyd Live in Pompeii. I would watch that. It was a video, but I mean, I would watch that, and I'd be so inspired by the music they were playing. And same with, like, Led Zeppelin 2. When I would be out on Long Island with my friends, we would go to the midnight movie, and they always played the Led Zeppelin song Remains the Same. And my mind would I'd be like, oh, this is crazy. I loved all that stuff. I've always liked a lot of different things. So one of the best concerts I ever saw was Albert King over at the Village Hall. I mean, there was so much stuff. You know, I was a real blues freak. I loved, you know, crazy hardcore and Agnostic Front and Cro-Mags. I used to go to the matinees over at CBGB's. It would just be insane. It was almost like wherever there was a big energy surge, that was what kind of attracted me. I've always been a student of people. That's I think one of the greatest things about growing up in New York City and around New York City and having it as a part of your life is the diversity of people. So a lot of times I'm looking at the people, and it feels, when it's right, it feels like there's these invisible type of threads. I don't know really a better way to describe it than it feels like we're all connected, you know? So the people can give energy to you as the performer, and you can get it and then give it back, and it happens vice versa. Sometimes you have to put out the energy to get it back.